Hello, friends, enemies, and for the record, friends we call Anthonites around here. This past year, my life has gone through so many changes. First of which is that I am taking steps to be financially responsible. Why though? Because I'm starting over from scratch after bankruptcy. If you want more information on that story, there should be a link, a card around here somewhere to give you more information on that. But today's video is not about that. Today's video is all about ways to help save for an emergency fund. Emergency funds are so super important. Want to know how important? There should also be a link around here somewhere to let you know ways that this could save your bacon. Seriously. An often cited statistic says that most Americans couldn't deal with a $400 emergency. That's scary. So whether you're saving the minimum of $400 or, as many people say, anywhere between 1 and 3 months salary, this video is for you, because some of these are like super simple and can add up to major money over time. Being financially responsible doesn't mean denying yourself everything. It just means that you need to deny yourself some of the luxuries of life for a short time so that you can build up and be able to afford those things later on when it doesn't mean the difference between making your bills and not. And at the end of the day, it's all up here. The difference between denying yourself something and allowing yourself something, it's all up here. But before we get into the meat of the episode, there are some things that I need to do. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the person who's volunteered to edit this video. Krysis, I'm talking about you! Krysis is one of a very few people that I actually follow on Twitch. He plays lots of FPS games on his stream, and you can find a link to his stream down below. And also, he does dabble with some other things. So if you go over to his stream and he's not streaming an FPS game like, I don't know, CSGO or what have you, call him a dirty dabbler. He'll know where it's from. And now back to the video. The first and most important thing that you can consider in building your newfound nest egg, your emergency fund, if you will, is simply sell something or sell multiple somethings. The likelihood that you have something laying around that at one point you had an emotional attachment to, something that you're not currently using, something along those lines that you may have value in or that other people may find value in, is fairly high. Maybe like in my case, it's an old DSLR camera that you don't use so much, or it could be comic books that you decided you're never going to revisit. Selling things isn't really a new concept. But with Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, being able to find a buyer for something that you don't really have a lot of use for anymore, that is a really great way to help build a nest egg. That is a great way to build an emergency fund for when the crap hits the walls. If all else fails, you can sell your bed sheets and then just tell your YouTube audience that it's laundry day. Thing number the second, you could always get a second job. In fact, I happen to know someone who got a second job at a comic book shop because it was A, something that they loved, and B, so that they could have a little extra money laying around. In the past, I've done side gigs, things like Lyft and Uber and YouTube, and that's been successful for me. And as some of you who've been watching me for a while know, I've also dabbled in writing ebooks. That's also a really great way to go ahead and make a little bit of money because you don't actually have to get anything printed. And you can get physical copies if you'd like, or you could just keep them as ebooks. Even audiobooks. If you want to check those out, links are down in the description. Okay, I kind of feel like I'm selling out. Am I selling out? You know what? While I'm selling out, I should go ahead and tell you to smash that like button. Go ahead, turn it blue. Also, I should go ahead and tell you that today's video and all my videos are sponsored, because down in the description there is an affiliate link for Amazon, which all qualifying purchases do pay me a little bit, could be anywhere from pennies to $1, who knows. And genuinely, if you were going to buy something anyway, because I would never tell you to buy things you didn't need, you can go ahead and help out the channel. Also in the description down below, if you are thinking about making that spare second job YouTube, you can also sign up for something that I use with every single upload. It's called TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is an amazing browser extension that makes so many things stupidly easy. All the creator things. Everything from making thumbnails to making thumbnails. There's so many tools within this, I couldn't go over it in this video if I tried. And if you really want to support me, the most direct and amazing way to do so is to become a Patreon, like Michael Scheisel, who has been supporting me since day one when I announced my Patreon like, oh heavens, like 2 years ago. Thanks, Michael. You're a legend. I should get back on track. Let's get back on track. Thing number the third. If you happen to have the ability to, especially right now with everything going on in 2020, work from home for a day or two. This can help save you money that you could put towards your emergency fund in a few different ways. It makes sure that you're eating at home. It saves you in gas and car maintenance, or maybe even bus fare, who knows. But for many people, it also has the sort of side benefit that it removes the ability and the opportunity to make a lot of impulse purchases that we often make and lose track of. Things like sodas or a bottle of water or what have you. If you're in your house, you already have a lot of these things. And let's face it, your 24 pack of water is probably a lot cheaper than that big old bottle, that sports bottle of water that you're picking up at 7-Eleven or wherever. Thing number the fourth, you can cut your grocery bill darn near in half. So we've all been there. You're strolling down the aisle at the grocery store. You buy this, you buy that. However, what a lot of people have found is if you plan your meals out ahead of time, buy only the things that you need for those meals. And I'm not talking about insane, crazy coupon shopping, but you can employ a few tricks, which I may make a video about later to save yourself money at the grocery store. Things like trying not to buy the things that are directly at eye level. Generally speaking, if you look a little bit above, or a little bit below, you can actually find very similarly branded items at lower prices. Grocery stores employ all sorts of psychological tricks to make you spend more money or to buy items that are higher margin for them. And planning your meals ahead of time can make sure that you don't end up with things in your cabinets that you're not using or food that will just spoil. It's one of those weird things that intuitively it makes sense, but many of us just simply don't do. And generally speaking, you should try to reuse ingredients whenever possible. Shopping for a single meal is a very bad thing because you can end up with ingredients you only use half of and have to throw the rest away. However, if you plan your meals right, you may be able to use that entire bag of shredded cheese. Or maybe even buy a brick of cheese so that you can save the rest and you won't have to throw the rest out, because maybe you won't be having something that includes cheese for a while. Number 5, save on utilities. Look, this is sometimes as simple as shutting off the lights. Okay, Google, set lights to 0%. Spooky. But a lot of people, myself included, have developed a lot of habits over the years that are slowly costing us money. Some are a little bit more obvious, like leaving windows cracked or maybe even leaving the door open when it doesn't need to be. Others are a little bit more elusive. I'm not going to turn this video into how to save money on your electricity bill. However, there are great resources just a search engine search away. You know the one I'm talking about. You know, the big one, they own the site that you're watching this on. Some of these are super simple and they take you all of a couple of seconds to set up. Others are a little bit more complicated and involve a small investment to save that money later on. Speaking of investments, there's a link down in the description that you can click to go ahead and join Robinhood. Robinhood is an amazing service that I've been using now. I've signed up several, like a year or two ago, but I've been using it a lot more recently, and I absolutely love it. If you sign up using my link, you get a stock, and for as long as they're doing the promotion, I get a stock. It's amazing. I do suggest that you use it. Fund your account with whatever, or just sign up for the free stock. I don't care. Thing number the 6th, stop eating out or getting takeout. Stop paying other people for their time to prepare your meals. I know it absolutely sucks sometimes to have to plan ahead, to bring your food to work, to what have you. It's a lot more expensive than you think to eat out. Sure, there are some hacks that you can use, and you can eat a really cheap meal sometimes at some places. But when it comes down to it, if you have the option to be able to eat a whole meal for $2 or $3 that you made at home versus $6 to $8 to $18 to $22 that you either go to get or have delivered to you, look, it's your emergency fund. All I'm saying is that for a lot of us, this is something that we can use to make things better in our lives. And once you have your emergency fund, sure, have it. Just saying, and I'm not judging. There are people out there who eat out enough to go ahead and save their emergency fund. And this one thing is enough so that after 3 months of not eating out or having food delivered to them, this will add up to their entire emergency fund. Thing number the 7th, get free stuff. Look, I totally get it. It doesn't really make sense immediately. However, I promise you, getting free stuff can save you money. So I have a stupid example, but an example nonetheless. As many of you who have been watching my channel for a while know, I recently stayed in a hotel for like a week or so. And when I left, just like every cheapskate dad out there, I took the shampoos and the conditioners. Why? Because the stuff costs money. I'm gonna use this. And though using this isn't going to save me an arm and a leg, it adds up. This plus every other opportunity that I have to get a freebie, it adds up. Speaking of freebies, I know this is like twice in one video, but free stock down below, Robinhood. And those of you who have followed my channel for a while know that every single year I sign up for all the birthday freebies because it feeds me and usually my brother like 2 or 3 or 4 meals just off of the birthday freebies. So freebies are awesome. Thing number the 8th, you could do all sorts of things online to make money. There are places that you can fill out surveys. Be careful though, some of those are scams. You could sign up for an OnlyFans. Hey, I don't judge. In fact, I recently had a follower ask me to sign up for an OnlyFans. And I'm flattered. But no, there are so many ways online for you to make nickels and dimes that add up to dollars. Heck, you could even become a secret shopper and you could get paid to do some shopping you may have already been doing anyway. In the future, I may try to make a video on some of these things. Thing number the 9th, skip this year's vacation or skip someone else's. Yeah, no, I know that's not really how that works. However, maybe you might still find some value in the whole skipping someone else's. Because just because someone else is on vacation, spending money, just because they are out to visit you, does not necessarily mean that you need to come out of your funds in order to be a good host. There are tons of ways to relax at or near home without spending money. As an example, somehow I convinced my girlfriend that walking around downtown was a date. She's a keeper. Some employers actually allow you to convert your vacation time back into dollars, so that's also a more direct way to use that as savings. In a situation like this, you can cash that out and continue working, and it's kind of like having free money. Thing number the 10th, and one of the best ways for my super social viewers out there, is to go on a spending freeze with like-minded people and friends. If everyone in your social circle, or at least some of them, are of like mind and they understand that you're on a spending freeze, then they will not pressure you directly or indirectly to spend money that you shouldn't. One of the big benefits of this is if you have a friend who is also doing the same thing you're doing, and maybe it takes them a little bit longer to set up their fund. Because it takes them longer, maybe you, instead of having just your $400 or your 1 month set aside, you can maybe set aside a little bit more because you are also with them setting aside that money and not pressuring each other to do things like going out to lunch or, going to a concert or a show or to the bar or wherever. A few times in my life, I have experienced this, where I just have that one friend where we're always going and doing things or eating out or what have you. And I'm not saying that that relationship costs you money. It does cause you to spend money. So those are my 10 ideas, my 10 ways to build an emergency fund so that you can be a little bit more financially independent. Let me know yours down in the comment section down below. And until next time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and do all those things that absolutely, positively make me love my job. Yes, I recently got yelled at for using my hands too much in my videos, so I'm doing it all the more now. Just wax on, wax off. Here we go. Just me moving my hands. That's all that's happening right here. So on screen right now, there's some boxes. You should probably click on some of those boxes. There should be like a link to a playlist or a video that Google thinks that you might enjoy from my channel. Maybe some other stuff. Patreon link maybe. Patreon's awesome. Follow me over there. These videos early. I don't know.